In our new Soros-inspired justice system, decent people are the criminals, while the criminals are now a protected class. Here's how it works. The people in charge unleash chaos in our cities, but if you dare to protect yourself or your family from that chaos, you wind up in handcuffs. What is this? Well, the name of this system of governance is anarcho tyranny. You get state-sponsored anarchy accompanied by political tyranny. Since taking office, Bragg has done his best to increase the anarchy. He's increased the number of felony charges his office drops by nearly 40%. That includes almost half of all drunk driving charges. That's the anarchy part. But for those who step outside the political lines, it is tyranny. This Soros-inspired and backed system is putting Joe Biden's main political opponent in the upcoming presidential race on trial for a crime that's not actually a crime. This is the political tyranny part of anarcho tyranny.
Now, the front page story causing outrage. An elderly convenience store worker fatally stabs a man he says assaulted him. Despite claims he acted in self-defense, he was charged with murder and sent to one of the most dangerous jails in America. Here's Les Trent.
There is front page outrage over the arrest of a store clerk who says he stabbed a violent customer in self-defense.
Anything you want to say?
Fox News personalities are going all out in support of the clerk, Jose Alba.
He was in reasonable fear of deadly force being used against him. He got the knife. He did what was right to protect himself.
If a criminal decides to bust up and beat up an old man in a bodega, he might get stabbed. That's a consequence of being a criminal and screwing around with violent behavior.
Justice gone mad, says page 1 of the New York Post. The drama happened here at this bodega in New York City. According to police, a young mom tried to buy a bag of chips for her daughter, but her card was declined. She went to find her boyfriend, who came bursting through the door, went behind the counter, and grabbed Jose Alba. Surveillance video shows the violent struggle. There is Alba getting pummeled, then grabbing a knife and fatally stabbing the 34-year-old boyfriend, who reportedly has a long criminal record. Even New York's Mayor Eric Adams, who has made fighting crime his #1 priority, couldn't believe the DA would end up charging Alba.
I just want to come here and support workers. Every day, innocent people in the city who are doing their jobs, and they should not be the victims of over-aggressive actions from anyone.
Bail for Alba was set at $250,000, but in the wake of the public outcry, it was reduced to $50,000, and he was released last night, but only after spending 6 days in notorious Rikers Island, considered one of the most barbarous facilities in America. Alba declined to answer any questions.
We're living in a state of anarcho tyranny. And what does that mean? It's personified by this. Some people say that's an oxymoron. Anarchy and tyranny. Anarchy is no government. Tyranny is lots of government. What does that mean? Criminals, the people that break the law, the people that want to do harm, the people that are the agents of chaos and disorder, are allowed to roam free. Because in some sense, they are allies of the elites. They are acting as the shock troops or the stormtroopers, the brown shirts of the elites. So insofar as criminals and Antifa are out there on the streets, instilling terror and fear into the hearts and minds of law-abiding citizens, they are allies of the elites and the establishment. They are enforcing the progressive and liberal ideology that they share with the elite. That's the anarchy. Crime, looting, riots, arson, and it's tolerated. We know we live in a state of anarchy. That's what prevails in Kenosha, in Minneapolis, and Chicago, and LA, and New York City, and Portland, and Washington, D.C. Yet at the same time, we know that if you defend yourself, or even if you just break the law as a law-abiding citizen, as somebody that does not share the ruling ideology like Antifa does, you will be subject to the full force of a tyrannical government, of a tyrannical managerial state. And we all know this. We see this every day. If you're a criminal like George Floyd or anybody like that, Well, there's no expectation for you to not break the law, or if you do, to cooperate with the police. And then if you die, for any of your loved ones or supporters, I guess, right, or your political allies, to not go and torch the city. And people suspect you of being racist, you can get
So this is a problem that we have been reporting on because it just keeps on happening. Repeat offenders accused of more violent crimes while they are out on bond. Just look at all of these shots. It's all the same person. This man was free from jail on 8 felony bonds when police say that he killed someone. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live now from the Southwest Side with tonight's Breaking Bond.
Yeah, Rossi, a 28-year-old man becomes the 154th Harris County resident to die, allegedly at the hands of a defendant free from jail on multiple felony bonds. Get this, 117 of the 154 killings have happened since 2020. 34-year-old Broderick Sales got his first mugshot way back in 2006. He's had one taken every year that he wasn't in prison. According to court documents, Sales' street name is Foolie.
Here's someone who goes by the name of Foolie, but yeah, he goes by Foolie, but he fooled the system because he kept getting out and out and out time after time after time again.
The one Sales fooled the most, 178th Criminal District Court Judge Kelly Johnson. It all began back in 2019 when she granted what would be the first of 8 felony bonds to Sales.
He's on 7 felony bonds, and he forfeited all of them plus another one. So he's out on 8 felony bond forfeitures. I have never seen that many for someone who's now accused of murder.
The last time Sales was seen in court was last March. By June, he was declared a wanted fugitive. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of felons on multiple bonds become wanted fugitives turned alleged killers.
And I think in the last 3 months, of the 24 that I've documented, half, 12, were bond fugitives.
While free on multiple bonds, police say Sales committed a murder in November of last year. He's now back behind bars with no bond set for the murder charge. Defendants free on multiple felony bonds is not just a Harris County issue.
The nature of this offense is shocking.
Look what happened over the weekend in Wisconsin. Waukesha parade suspect Darrell Brooks made bond twice this year despite having an active warrant. He's now charged with 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide.
The ramifications of bond reform, obviously locally, have deeply affected public safety, but this is a national public safety health crisis.
Some of you criminal
This is an example of what Sam Francis used to refer to as anarcho tyranny. In some ways, it's just zio-tyranny. Like if you understand it, it's dog. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, there's nothing anarchic about it if you understand America to be the Zionist occupied government that hates white people. Right. So if it's a Jewish dictatorship that is anti-white, it's actually very consistent. But
look at for example the problems that some Palestinians have in the West Bank with drugs. So they're saying, like, how is it possible that we are some of the most surveilled human beings on this planet, and yet drug traffickers can bring in methamphetamine through the border into our area to drug our youth? Well, very simple. It's not anarcho-tyranny. It's that you're occupied by people trying to kill you. Like it actually makes perfect sense. There's nothing confusing about it.
It's only anarchic if you understand the law and the system to be what it says it is. Then it is. Then it's totally anarchic. It's and it's funny because it shows that the system is. This goes back to my old thing. A lot of people, like one time when I was with Jazz Hands talking about how like people who are anti-Jewish, who speak up against Jewish power, it's harder to fake that than it is to fake the pro-white thing. So I basically said it's more important to be anti-Jewish than to be pro-white from the point of view of people. All kinds of fakers can say they're pro-white. That Jew bitch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She was saying I'm pro-white, or she was protesting against what's anti-white. It's harder though. Like that's why when like Candace Owens goes up against Jewish power, I pay more attention to that than when she wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt. If Candace Owens wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt, I'm like, okay, whatever. If she starts talking against Jewish power, then I'm like, okay, I'm listening.
Right. It's not that you're deprioritizing one or the other.
No.
It's that like everyone in America knows white people are under attack, including the people attacking white people. That's why they do it, because they know they can get away with it. That's why blacks punch random white women on the street. If they got the same reaction you get when you protest for the Palestinians, they would stop. Okay, yes. That would stop. So everyone understands already that white people are under attack. 100% of America understands.
What was the Stephen Miller?
What people don't understand is the point of origin of these attacks.
Right.
They don't understand that. And so shedding light on that point of origin is more useful in helping understand how things are really working, that it's not anarcho-tyranny. It's just a Zionist occupation of our country. That is more important because once you understand the source of attack, then you can effectively combat it.